Let me remind you what made me famous. Decades ago, I was on television and I held a spoon up and I placed my fingers on the spoon and I started massaging it very gently. But in my mind, I was saying bend, melt. I was trying to melt the metal down. And as I do this, the metal will start becoming soft. Bend, melt. Oh yes, it's beginning. I can feel it. It feels like it's getting soft, like plastic. And yes, there it goes. The metal is softening. It is becoming like plasticine. If you can see it this way, there's no force in my fingers whatsoever. It's very, very soft. If I will shake it now, it's gonna go. That's what made me famous. A bent, melted spoon. It's still going. It's 2 weeks to go before Venice, and this morning I woke up today feeling really nauseated. This really doesn't happen at all. I feel so strange. It's almost like a flu kind of a symptom, a virus attacking me. And you know, I don't believe that this is psychological, because all the physical symptoms are here. It's in me. It's attacking my body. I really felt sick this morning. Just the thought of investigating Palazzo and all the other haunted places that are shrouded in mystery. It's just doing something to me. Also mentally, psychologically. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm getting concerned. Very concerned. And this sickening feeling that is overpowering me is just... it's new to me. I've never ever experienced it, and I suppose that I don't know. Today I have to go to Sunderland for a lecture, and I'm cancelling it altogether. I don't have the energy to go anywhere. And you know, what scares me the most is that there are actually physical symptoms on my body. And that is very scary.
Uri Geller is the world's most investigated and celebrated paranormalist. Famous around the globe for his mind-bending psychic powers, he has led a unique life shrouded in debate, controversy, and mystery. He was studied by scientists who worked with Albert Einstein, and the world's most prestigious scientific magazine, Nature, published a paper on Uri's work at the Stanford Research Institute in the USA, a unique endorsement and an irrefutable proof that his powers are genuine. His work with the FBI and the CIA has included using mind power to track down serial killers. Uri Geller is mentioned in at least 1,250 different books.
I was about 5 when I had a very weird and bizarre encounter in an Arabic garden with some type of a sphere of light. Very soon after that, I was eating soup and the spoon bent in my hand. It actually broke in half. I was bullied in school, I was laughed at school. I didn't know what to do with these abilities. There was though one dream in my mind, is to make it in life, to become rich and famous. And I wanted to do that simply because of one reason, because we were very poor. My mother was working as a seamstress, so waitress. We had no money. Then I went and lived in Cyprus with my mom, where she married, second time. I then went back to Israel when I was about 17, joined the paratroopers, and fought in the 67 war. I was wounded there. And then one day, I showed a key bending to a photographer who photographed me. I was working as a male model. The key freaked him out. He said, "Uri Geller, how did you do this?" And I said, "Well, I always had these abilities." And he introduced me to a friend. That friend took me to a party. I did a little demonstration, and the rest was history in Israel. Everybody wanted to see me bending spoons, forks, and reading minds and fixing broken watches. I went to parties, to little gatherings, and I demonstrated my abilities. These little parties became more prestigious, from photographers to lawyers, from lawyers to barristers, from barristers to generals. And then one day the Prime Minister of Israel was there, Golda Meir, and I read her mind. The next day she was interviewed on Israeli radio on an unrelated matter, and the presenter asked her, "Prime Minister Golda Meir, what do you predict for the future of Israel?" And she sort of smiled and she says, "Well, I don't know, but there is a young man, called Uri Geller who..." And that was it. It was the biggest plug in my life, coming from the mouth of a prime minister. I started appearing on the stages of Israel, huge, in front of 2,000-3,000 people. But then I couldn't change my act, because I really didn't know magic. I was not a magician. And people turned their backs on me when everyone saw me over and over and over. Then came my savior, Andrej Poharic, a doctor from the United States with kind of links to the CIA, who came to test me because the CIA were looking for someone like me to test in laboratories in the United States, because they heard that the Russians were testing psychics in the Soviet Union. I came to America, straight to Stanford Research Institute, went through grueling tests under laboratory control conditions very successfully, and they were written up in Nature magazine, and that started the scientific world talking. Of course, I became immensely controversial immediately. Skeptics tried to attack me, magicians tried to debunk me, but more controversy around me. I mean, it was fantastic for me. You know, there's an old saying that it doesn't matter what they say or write about you, as long as they spell your name correctly. Then came the infamous Johnny Carson show, on which I failed miserably because I walked into a trap. Johnny prepared everything after consulting a magician. And I thought that was the end of Uri Geller. Those are the thoughts that were churning in my mind. But exactly the opposite happened. I started being invited to the biggest American talk shows. And the rest really is history. And then I started dowsing for oil and gold. I worked for the CIA for a while. And I didn't know how to handle success. It came very quickly, very abruptly, and it went to my head. I became sick. I had panic attacks, anxiety attacks. And then gradually I became bulimic. And I was killing myself, slowly but surely. And it was John Lennon that actually saved my life by telling me, "Hey Uri, when was the last time you looked into the mirror?" And I said, "My God, you're right." And he said then to me, "Do you know what spirituality is?" And I looked at him and I said, "Well, I've heard of the word, but what is it?" And then he very strongly said to me, "You go out there and find it." And Yoko said, "Go to Japan." And I did that. I gave away all our belongings, got on a plane with my 2 children. They were toddlers then. My wife, Hannah, my brother-in-law, my mother. And we flew to Japan. And I drove straight to Mount Fuji, into a forest. And we lived there, inside the forest, for an entire year. People ask me, "What is it, Uri? What are you? Who are you? Is it the supernatural? Is it the paranormal?" Well, once I used to say, well, everyone is psychic, I'm psychic. But today I don't say that anymore. Because I've learned that staying mysterious is the best thing in the world. Being controversial is amazing. Money cannot buy controversy. And I have to repeat one line that Oscar Wilde said. He said over 100 years ago that one worse thing than being talked about is not being talked about. A major network asked me to go to Venice and investigate the darker side of the city. I took up the idea. I was very pleased and excited. I had absolutely no idea what was waiting for me there. Before going to Venice, obviously I did some research, looked Venice up on the internet, read some books, and I discovered that there are definitely some mysteries involved with the city. I had an uneasy feeling, and then something really odd happened to me. I started feeling sick, physically sick. I got flu-like symptoms, which drained my energy. I had headaches. I actually had to go to a doctor. And then even a more sort of startling thing happened. I noticed that I had kind of bruises over my body, almost like welts. I could feel them. Now that never ever happened to me, and I must tell you, it really scared me. The first thought that flashed through my mind Maybe I'm dipping into something that is cursed. Maybe something is trying to stop me from going to Venice. I'm about to go to Venice to investigate a palazzo that is rumored to be haunted or cursed. Every person that owned that palazzo died under mysterious circumstances. I think that even Uri Geller wanted to buy that palazzo, and his wife talked him out of it. You see, Doug, energy is mysterious. Energy cannot be destroyed. So whether you believe in ghosts or the afterlife or you don't, you will have to agree with science that when you die, you have to ask the question, what happens to that energy that is in your body? I want to call it the soul, I want to call it the spirit. People who are skeptics who don't believe in that, what do they call it? What do they think happens to that energy? So yes, I'm a huge believer that when one dies, the energy leaves the body, either goes into infinity somewhere or reincarnates into a human child or instills itself into a building. Anything can happen. We know very little about the paranormal. We know very little about the mysteries of the universe, even the mysteries of our mind. Remember, I said this before, the last frontier, Doug, is not space. The last frontier is our mind. You know, reading through my notes on the palazzo that I'm going to investigate in Venice, the amount of murders and suicides that took place there and other unexplainable deaths, mainly of the owners of this remarkable place, I just cannot help but feel a kind of a mounting dread about visiting this palazzo. And I don't know, maybe this feeling emanates from a deep-rooted fear that I have that is not held by the fact that I'm a great believer in the paranormal, and there's no doubt in my mind that the afterlife exists. You know, when I was a young man, I actually have experienced a ghost. Truly, a ghost knocked on my front door. And maybe because of that occurrence, there is this apprehensiveness in me, a deep, again, fear that has taken root way, way inside my subconscious mind. First of all, the urge to go to Venice is so strong that I had to research it for months, writing all these notes, reading books, because I basically, and what I want to do is I want to try to discover the mysteries of this amazing, enigmatic, mesmerizing place, and hopefully to come to some kind of a conclusion, maybe some kind of a positive conclusion of what on earth is happening there. And living in England, you know, England has this tradition of, and it goes back centuries, maybe even thousands of years ago. It's a deep, again, seeded kind of belief system that the supernatural exists. I mean, in every corner of this country, you will find a pub that is haunted or a castle that has ghosts. Again, my research is just amazing. It talks about poltergeist and what it means, the ghosts that haunt a place, that they can actually instill their fear inside walls of buildings. I mean, I've written hundreds and hundreds of pages on it, and I cannot help but wonder what will happen to us in ancient Venice. You know, I know now, and I feel it so strongly, that Venice definitely has this association with the supernatural. I decided to call up some of my friends who are quite knowledgeable in the field of curses, omens, the supernatural, the paranormal, and seek their advice, because I just needed help. First of all, to clear the fear in my mind. Again, there was that voice up here telling me, be careful, don't go to Venice. And I wanted to share my anxieties with my friends. The first person I wanted to contact was Roberto Cavalli, the world-renowned, the world-famous fashion designer. He is a friend, and I've known him for over 3 decades. I actually introduced his wife to him. And he's, of course, Italian, and I just wanted to hear the reaction of a native Italian, whether, first of all, if he indeed believed in ghosts, or he thought that I should be careful, watch myself in Venice. So usually I call him and he immediately gets on the phone. But I think I tried at least 12 times to contact him, and he was simply never there. My name is Uri.
Uri?
Yes, Uri Geller.
You kindly spell it, I don't...
Uri Geller.
L-L-E-R. Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you. May I speak to Roberto Cavalli, please?
He's not here, sir. He's still outside Florence, I think.
Outside Florence? Please tell him that Uri Geller called him.
Uri?
Yes, Uri Geller. Okay? Thank you very much. Bye-bye. I'll catch Roberto Cavalli later. Hi, buongiorno. May I speak to Roberto Cavalli?
Roberto Cavalli is not here. He's outside Florence.
Listen, do me a favor. If you speak to him, tell him that Uri Geller called him. Uri Geller! I have to mention a mysterious tape early on in this film, because this mysterious tape started it all. It appeared from nowhere. When we were unpacking, my wife Hannah comes to me and says, there is a tape here that is unmarked. Now, I know that my brother-in-law Shippy marks every tape. He carries a Sharpie with him, a marker, and diligently marks everything. He records everything that he films. And where did this tape come from? He was lying between all the other tapes that were in the bag. I've never seen that tape before. The contents of this tape are so disturbing that I allowed only a few sections of the scenes on this tape to be shown. Although many months passed by, we did send the tape to the Italian authorities just to make sure that they investigate, these horrible, I can call it crimes. But what was very bizarre and strange that the authorities never called us back, never contacted us back. It seems like they couldn't even trace the people on this tape. Another Italian friend I decided to contact was Gaddo Cardini, who is an international entrepreneur. He owns also a company that sells private jets. Gaddo was a perfect individual to ask for sort of local belief systems in Italy.
Hello?
Hello, Gaddo?
Who is this?
May I speak to Gaddo, please? It's Uri Geller.
Oh, yes, one second, Yuri.
Thank
It's
you.
Uri Geller. Hello, Yuri.
Hi, Gaddo. How are you?
I am here. How are you, Yuri? Where are you going?
Well, listen, first of all, I want to ask you a few things before my trip. What I found out, that they want me to go to a palazzo.
Ah, don't go, Yuri, don't go.
Why?
That is dangerous. That palace bring bad luck. It's so dangerous that nobody in Venice will talk to you. You have to discover by yourself. You have to discover, because nobody will talk to you. It's a very dangerous thing, Yuri. Don't do it. I mean, you take too many risks.
No. Listen, Gaddo, I want to ask you something yourself about Venice. What is your feeling about these type of houses and palazzos, and what is your I don't know, intuitive feelings about Venice in whole?
Venice is a very old town, you understand, with a lot of history.
Yes.
And a lot of important people that die there, you understand. So there is a lot of spirit everywhere, you understand, that keep the town alive, but there is the good one and the bad one. And they are going to take a big risk because some of these palaces, they are haunted, you understand.
Oh, I see.
Some of them know, so be careful, because with your power that you have, they will be all against you, you understand? The nice ones are very good, but the bad spirits are the most dangerous. And for this, Venice slowly is going underwater, forever.
Wow. Gosh. I don't know. Yeah, this guy, his family goes hundreds, centuries and centuries back. And if he says to be careful and that it's dangerous, I don't know. Shall I go? It's a bit too late now because I agreed to do the show, but I guess I'll have to take this chance. It's a quest for me. It's something that, it's a challenge. I want to discover the truth. These are serious people. This guy sells private jets, you know. Okay.
Almost 3 decades ago, Colin Wilson, the very famous writer who has written probably over 100 books, including the Encyclopedia of the Unsolved Mysteries, he was the right person to talk to, because, I mean, he has been researching the occult and the paranormal, psychic phenomena for ages. And I had to hear his reaction and his warnings. What is your theory about ghosts?
My original theory was that ghosts didn't really exist, because I thought they were just some kind of recording, a tape recording from the past. But once I began to study poltergeists, I saw that this is nonsense. Poltergeists are spirits. And ever since then I've been quite certain of the existence of ghosts. It's not something that I would care to do myself, so I think you need to be careful. I got a phone call the other day from a lady who lives in Cheltenham, who says that you've got some rather terrifying haunting going on in her place. Now her sister came down to see her, and now the sister's also got it in her house.
So, Colin, is it possible that if I lift up my hand on a television show, let's say, and say there is a ghost in my room, and I ask people to get off their seats, touch the palm of my hand, is it possible to transmit an entity from my house into their own living rooms? Another author I called up was Robert Temple. He also is quite respected and very credible in this field. Now, what he had told me was, again, scary. Hi, Robert, this is Uri.
Hi there, Uri.
Hi, how are you?
Okay.
Tell me, how's your latest book doing?
Oh, well, it's pretty spooky. It's all about the Oracle of the Dead and going down to the underworld.
Listen, Robert, I will be presenting and investigating almost like a quest, like a journey into the mysterious or haunted houses in Venice. What do you know about the place?
Well, I think you want to be careful, Uri, because there's a lot of tormented souls whose frustrated and furious psychic energies have been imprinted in the very stones of some of those palazzi, and a lot of it's unhealthy atmosphere and not your sort of thing, Uri, because you're such a nice man, and these are tormented and wicked forces.
Is there anything I can take with me that can maybe protect me? Any talisman, or do some kind of a ritual that will form a shield around me, maybe protecting me from evil?
Well, I think you have to emanate the goodness within you, and it will counteract a lot of the evil forces, because you're a very good man, as I know.
Look, I'll call you when I get back and I'll tell you exactly what happened.
While Uri Geller was preparing for his trip to Venice, the production team, led by director Jason Figgis, were busy putting together reconstructions of famous Venetian hauntings at a suitable location deep in the Irish countryside. These behind-the-scenes production stills by photographer Maria Manton illustrate effectively the eerie nature of the film scenes.
Finally, I got hold of Roberto Cavalli, and I was really surprised at what he had to say and the sort of the lightheartedness in his words. Like, come on, Geller, get a life. You don't really believe in these things, do you? Roberto, this is Uri Geller.
Who's speaking?
Uri Geller.
The biggest bending metal in the world.
Listen, Roberto, I want to ask you a very important question. This weekend, I'm flying to Venice to investigate a certain palazzo. The palazzo is called Palazzo. The reason I want to ask you this question is because a lot of people are saying that it's very dangerous, that it has a lot of spirits, ghosts, spirito.
Why is dangerous?
Well, because a lot of people who owned this palazzo died, and they died under very, very mysterious circumstances.
Oh, Uri, nothing's dangerous for you. Do you understand? Well, you believe in this kind of things, please. You're a big boy.
Well,
You can be one nice experience just because we are powerful. Maybe to show that you don't have any kind of this kind of risk. It could be fantastic. Call me after. I would like to know about the experience. It's very nice.
look, when I come back, I'll give you a call, okay? I'm so honored to know James Herbert. He's a good friend and a close friend, and I immediately contacted him. You know, James Herbert is known for his incredible horror novels, like The Rats, Haunted, which actually was turned into a movie starring Kate Beckinsale. Listen, James, a small little request from you. I want to know your thoughts about ghosts, spirits, haunted houses, because I'm doing a show in which I will be investigating the darkest side of Venice, the side that tourists never see. What is your feeling about that?
You have to be careful. I'll say that one thing to you. You must be careful, because quite often these ghosts, if they exist, they're passed over or died, and usually in traumatic or unfortunate circumstances. So you feel oppressed. It's a great feeling of oppression around the place.
Have you ever seen a ghost yourself?
It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was just chatting with some friends, and it was only us three around. But somebody or something walked past the door. a ghost.
Wow.
And I rushed out to confront it, really. But it was gone. I tell you exactly what I keep in my study when I work.
What?
I'm writing these books on the supernatural and involving ghosts and monsters or whatever. I keep a small wooden crucifix on my bookshelf. Now, it could mean nothing. It could be everything.
James, thank you. It has been a great pleasure to talk to you again. The day came, I was all packed, saying goodbye to my wife, Hannah, and there was a strange feeling in me, almost like I'm off to a journey with no return, that I will not come back. I had that streak of feeling in me. Tell Davy to take the dogs out every day at about 3:30 because it gets dark at 4:30. And I'll be in touch all the time. So if anything happens, just call me.
Absolutely. Don't worry, everything will be okay, as usual.
Okay.
And have a wonderful time.
Oh, I'll miss you.
I miss you too, as usual.
And I'll call you if I find a ghost.
I hope you will find one.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thinking today, I wonder, when did that tape really appear or materialize in Shippy's luggage? Everything I have heard and read about the Palazzo's influence on the personality of those associated with it seems to point in the direction of the tape being connected. The atmosphere, the feel of the images on the tape is very similar to descriptions of the Palazzo and what has gone on there over the centuries since it was built. The boat journey from Marco Polo, the airport, to the historic city of Venice was exhilarating. It was so fascinating. It was almost like seeing a Turner painting coming alive. You see Venice in thousands of pictures and movies and documentaries and postcards, but being there, feeling the atmosphere, the vibrations, experiencing the colors, the ambience is just mind-blowing. And I felt that all fears were swept away. I just absorbed the beauty of the city. Well, finally, I'm in my hotel room in Venice. It was so great to meet all the crew and fly together to the airport near Venice. And in a way, I feel less stressed now because I can sense the excitement of everyone together. Now we are, in a way, one unit. And that's very important because we are about to go into the unknown and investigate the dark side of Venice.
Wow, what a view! It's beautiful.
left for Venice, some people suggested that I take with me talismans to protect me from evil, and I did bring them with me. This one here is supposed to protect me from any negative forces that could try to harm me. This one here is an ancient Hebrew letter spelling God. This is my pendulum. Hopefully I'll be able to use it and douse with this incredible crystal that is over 1 million years old. And finally, the cross, which was suggested to me by James Herbert. Well, I did my first bit to camera. I think it went well. Jason, our director, is fantastic. He ran some footage back to us, and he filmed a flock of seagulls flying over the canal, and boy, they looked like missiles. I feel more positive about everything now. I'm looking very much forward to investigating these cursed or haunted palazzis. I think this is an amazing and a different film. I would call it more a docudrama. So I'm looking forward for every day of filming, and I'm about to go now walking for miles in Venice. Wandering in the streets of Venice, I discovered this mask shop. It was quite unusual. There were hundreds and hundreds of masks all over the place, on the wall, on the ceiling, in display cabinets. It is a statement, in a way, to the mysteries of Venice. You know, one mask hiding another, a more sinister, darker facade of the city. A completely unexpected event was this flooding. I asked shop owners, you know, what is this all about? I mean, is this an occurrence, a monthly occurrence? Does it happen a few times a year? And they all said no, they've never experienced such a high level of flooding in Venice. And they're all telling me how this flooding destroys their businesses. They have to renovate all the time. They have to gut out buildings, property is destroyed. I just cannot believe that a population of such an extraordinary city can live in the clutches of such a natural, reoccurring disaster. But this was the biggest flooding, I think, since the 50s. Venice is flooding. People are jumping off the boats onto the pier in ankle-deep water. I assume that the promenade will be totally flooded within the hour. I just saw a ship that must have been 200 years old steaming out to open sea. Even the hotel lobby in this hotel is totally flooded. The dining room where we ate is underwater. Where we drank cappuccino is underwater. You know, I've traveled to the most remote places in the world, but I've never ever seen anything like this before. I've never walked through a hotel that is basically drowning. I thought, now this cannot get worse. You know, how much more flooding one can persevere, but it got worse and worse. The water levels just got higher and higher and higher. As I continued to delve into the deeper, the darker side of Venice, I had fear, definitely some kind of an anxiety in me. It was tasting a tangible, supernatural occurrence that was just hanging over the city all the time. Okay?
Action.
Right. Ready?
Action.
Wow! And then I
Action.
stopped
Move.
saying that, and then I stopped.
Action.
Wow!
Okay, action.
I've been asked to use psychometry on some of these artifacts that were found on this island.
thank you. I met some waiters on the promenade, and I bent a spoon for them, and of course I wanted to derive out of them, to extract information. Hi, how are you? Do you speak English?
I don't know, speak English.
Hi, how are you?
Fine.
Tell me, I'm here and I'm doing something for... And I wanted to ask you that I'm going next week. Do you know anything about it?
Salute. There is in the...
Yes?
The Salute, the church.
Yes.
The second stop,
Yes?
after the bridge, you take on your left the number 1.
Fantastic. And tell me...
You have the first stop, Cavalareso, and then the second stop,
Okay.
Academia.
And tell me,
Academia.
do you believe that is mysterious? Yes, mysterious. Why? Why?
I don't know, sir.
Yeah, because a lot of people tell me, don't go there. Oh, thank you. Where are you from?
From in Wales.
Hi.
Yeah.
From Wales? Yes. And how long are you here for?
Just 3 days.
Well, I think 3 days is enough to see Venice.
Yes,
Yeah?
yes.
What's your name?
Shan.
How?
Shan.
Oh, that's
Shan.
beautiful. Shan is a
Welsh for Jane.
beautiful name. And what's yours?
How old?
And yours?
Bernadette.
Bernadette. Tell me, do you believe that ghosts exist? Really?
Yes, I do.
Tell me why.
Well, so much about it. My father saw one years ago, and was convinced anyway, but he just convinced me even more. I think there is presence around.
Definitely. You know that Venice is very supernatural.
It is, yeah, you can feel it.
You can?
Yeah,
You can feel it when you walk in.
Yeah,
Really?
down the side streets, everything is so quiet and eerie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean, did you feel the same?
A little bit, yeah.
It's funny because when I walked down the alleys and there was no one around, I felt like there's someone following me, like there's a presence.
Yes, yeah.
You mean
It's so quiet, and you just feel that there is somebody standing over you and watching. It's just so different, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know, it's
it's just steeped in history, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
It's
I
just-
find this astonishing because I thought it's only happening to me, but you feel the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so look, enjoy yourselves, and
Thank you.
I hope you watch it. It's on the 9th of January. One of the most unusual places I visited in Venice was the island cemetery. I mean, just imagine a whole island that is just one big cemetery. And walking among the graves and the tombstones gave me an eerie feeling, a feeling of morbidity, realizing how many tens of thousands of people perished, died in the plague, drowned in floodings throughout the centuries. Their spirits were still there. I could feel them. It was. I just wanted to get off the island as soon as I could. Listen, I wanted to ask you something. I'm here in Venice, filming a docudrama about hauntings and the mysteries of Venice. What do you feel? First of all, do you believe in the paranormal?
Yes, I do.
do you believe in ghosts?
Yes, I do.
Did you have an experience?
Slight experiences. The people I'm traveling with
Yes.
had an experience the other night.
No!
Yes.
Tell me about
in
it.
Assisi, yes.
Yeah.
Someone, when they turned off the lights, got in bed with them.
Look, I get goosebumps. My goodness.
Touched the gentleman's leg and sat on the side of the lady's bed.
You're giving me the chills.
So they turned on the lights so
Yeah.
so the events would stop. So, and it was in an Hotel Giotto,
Wow.
an old abbey.
And when they told you this story, what was your reaction? Did you believed, right?
I believed. I found it thrilling. I wish it happened to me.
Well, this is why I'm here, to try to sense and feel the presence of spirits that are lost. Because, I mean, let's face it, tens of thousands died in the plague here. And
Yes.
Many of these palazzos and islands are haunted by lost spirits.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't sensed any. Well, no.
Yeah, you will just,
I will.
you know what, you just go alone at night.
I do sense things.
You do?
Yes.
So, are you a psychic?
No, I just sense things. I don't know.
What is your profession, by the way? Are you a teacher?
A programmer analyst.
Oh, I see. So you're a very rational person.
Yes.
I mean,
but I still believe.
Yeah, good.
Another island that I visited was Poveglia, on which I felt oppression. The density of horror was so immense. I was hot, sweating at one point, then shivering at another. It was just so scary. I wanted to get off as soon as I could.
Action.
Sorry, let's do it again.
Action.
Look at that steeple, it's so magnificent. You can see that the tower is made out of bricks all the way up to the cross, and the segment under it, which is held by these huge metal bolts. The windows there are barricaded for some strange reason. Just to see something of this nature in an isolated island, derelict island, is quite amazing. The last thing I expected to find on Poveglia was a human skull. When I held it, I thought I shouldn't be doing this. I felt that I was disturbing the resting place of the dead. Driving and navigating the boat right into the lagoon towards Venice felt like I was in control of everything. My thoughts about the city were amplified and strengthened by my conviction to find out the truth, the real dark side of this place. I wanted to bring back home a source of knowledge that will unveil itself to at least to me, and reveal the truth of the real essence, the core of the mystery that lies behind the dark facade of Venice. I had so much fun with the crew late into the night, talking to them about my desire to be a horror film actor. I mean, as a child, I used to dress up and buy rubber masks that I would order from America of monsters. And it was such an appropriate moment for me to act out my fantasies. Like a... Ready? One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready? Yeah, action. The tapping on the pipes are driving me crazy. I'm trying to find some kind of a logical or rational explanation to the sounds, to the noise. We finally arrived to the day of filming, and there's this dark feeling, morbid feeling all over the place. I'm really stunned at the vastness of the garden at the rear of this palazzo, but what strikes me most is the eeriness and stillness of somewhere that should contain so much life. This looks like an ancient coat of arms. I don't know when the last person ever visited this place, but this looks like definitely a spring. Some kind of a water hole. And yeah.
Okay, cool. You want to close the door for a sec? I just want to film the outside. Okay?
Okay.
Just wait there, no, so it's going. Only be a sec. Just a sec, okay? Alright.
Dark in here.
But you can come out now, it's grand, I have the shot anyway. Just turn the handle.
I am. Listen.
Yeah. Just a sec.
Can you open it? I think it's locked from the outside.
Just give me a sec, Uri, just one sec. Just a sec. Are you pulling against it?
No. Come on, Jason. Just swing it open.
I am. I'm working. Just a sec. Wait a minute. I'll put down the camera. Wait a sec. Just a sec.
I'll try.
Relax.
Jason?
Okay, give me a sec.
It should be.
Yep.
Try. Start.
Of course I'm trying. We're trying. Oh, we can't. It's moving.
Weird. There's something. Something is. Are you pulling it back? No, it's just something in this room, Jason.
Look, calm down. It's okay.
Well, maybe I'm going to get some.
Okay, calm down. Hurry, calm down. Okay, let's move it. Push.
It's been almost a year now since we finished filming the documentary, and although I had the most amazing time in my life in Venice, it certainly has been tainted by the appearance of this tape, this horrific, dark, morbid tape that changed the whole documentary, the essence of this film. I don't know where it came from. I'm wondering, is it paranormal? Is it supernatural? Again, did someone play a trick on me? I guess I'll never know.